Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hunt for the Perfect Parlay, Week 12. Here we go. Yeah, so I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. Hope everybody's getting ready and prepared for Thanksgiving. Hope everything was going well for everybody. So let's just get up into it. Yeah, so first thing to mention, don't forget to like and subscribe to the page, you know what I'm saying, the YouTube channel. I appreciate anybody that's, just checking us out, whatnot, if it's your first time or if you've been a previous visitor, just thank you, you know what I'm saying? Also, I would like to start the disclaimer before I start anything. You feel me? I am not an expert guru. I just do this stuff for fun. You hear me? Do not listen to me, and if you lose money, blame it on me. I'm not that guy. You hear me? Do your own research like how I do. Come up with your own picks. You can even throw some ideas my way while I throw some ideas your way. Let's just build on this and let's just hope that we can make some winnings. You know what I'm saying? I just want us to win. I don't want nobody to be like, oh, I'm the know-it-all person. I just want us to win our money and all that. So other than that, with that being said, let's just get on with it. We're going to talk about the Week 12 and the games that are coming on today. Yeah, today. So let's just run down the easy games. The easy games that I had selected and everything on money line bets and all that. First game first, New York Giants versus the Detroit Lions. I chose the Detroit on money line. New York Jets versus the Baltimore Ravens. Chose Baltimore on the money line. New England versus Cincinnati. New England, obviously. Seattle versus Tennessee. Seattle, obviously. Jacksonville versus Arizona. Jaguars, obviously. And I want to talk about this game a little bit more, but we're going to go into it. Like, I want to talk about this game a little bit more, but we're going to get into it once we go down the list. Tampa Bay versus Los Angeles Rams. Choosing Rams to win that game. So anyways, let's get it started on the games that I did not select off of that fast rundown because those games were a little bit, I had to really sit there, think, do some research on both teams, and let's just go for it. The first game right here would be the Indianapolis Colts versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Spread set at 3.5. Chiefs being the favorite. Now, this is a tricky game right here because if anybody watched the game obviously everybody seen that game. Buffalo Bills getting smashed on by the Houston Texans. Well, the Buffalo Bills didn't technically get smashed on by the Houston Texans. It was Josh Allen got smashed on by the Houston defense. So right there, with that right there, not knocking Buffalo down out of the rankings in their division, but elevating the Texans in their rankings in the AFC South right now because they're right behind Jacksonville and the Colts. If you ask me, Jacksonville and Houston need Kansas to win in order for both of those teams to advance to do some advancement in their respective division, the AFC South. Kansas is desperate. They need to win. This is not a lose situation for them. They have to win, and they got to win out. You know what I'm saying? Being third in their division, they can at least catch the Chargers, but they can't catch the Broncos. So this game is a must-win for Kansas at home. Now, Indianapolis Colts. The Colts got, I would say, arguably the best record in the NFL, but that don't mean nothing right there. If you actually look at the teams that they lost to versus the teams that they won, teams that the Indianapolis Colts lost to so far, the LA Rams, the Green Bay Packers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. All these teams that they lost to right here were on the road. I want to say, I think the Packers beat them at home. I think they lost to the Rams on the road, and they lost to the Steelers on the road. On the road, right there. Now, I don't really I'm not really sure with Indy, but I think these were the games that they lost off the road, right, or on the road. The thing about Kansas is they're not a good road team, but at home, the only team that beat them at home, I want to say, is the Philadelphia Eagles. So, with all that being said, I wouldn't say I would pick Kansas on the money line, just because it's a must-win for them, and Kansas barely lose at home. They barely lose at home, and the Colts, they beat they beat teams. The only team that I can say that they beat that is like playoff caliber is the Chargers, and that's not saying much. You hear me? That's not saying much at all. So Indy is going to be tested. They're going to be tested against the Chiefs, and I think the Chiefs is just going to run away. They're going to roll out with the victory. I really do feel that. I really feel that the Chiefs, they know what time it is. They cannot lose. They cannot lose this game. But anyways, on a safety bet, on a safety net type of shit right here, I chose Indianapolis on the spread for my underdog parlay. So with this being said, I'll just say Chiefs. The Chiefs will win this game, and they'll just, ain't nothing else to add on to that one. Next game that I wanted to like really look at was the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Chicago Bears. Spread set at 2.5 for Chicago being the favorite. I was going back and forth with this in my mind and whatnot, but then Aaron Rodgers is hurt. Chicago is gelling. Steelers dealing with some injuries. Chicago is just now they found their groove and whatnot. So this wasn't too hard for me. I didn't have to go through a lot of evaluation like I had to do with the Colts and the Chiefs. But I'm gonna choose Chicago right here. Historically, Pittsburgh just doesn't do well in Soldier Field. So I'm gonna pick Chicago money line. Chicago's gonna win that game right there. The next game that I wanted to check out right here, that I had to really sit down and look at, was the Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers. Spread set as 6. Green Bay being the favorite. Now, we all know, man, Green Bay is like, we don't understand really what's going on with Green Bay. Green Bay is not really playing to like our expectations. Minnesota, though. Minnesota, that all depends on what type of game JJ McCarthy is going to bring to the field. You know what I'm saying? He's bound to throw at least one interception per game. Green Bay has a defense that's going to keep them honest. Minnesota has a blitz defense that can keep Green Bay honest. But all in all, I think it's just going to come down to Jordan Love commanding his team down the field. All JJ McCarthy has to do is not try to make too many fuck ups and everything. Green Bay is going to be without Aaron Jones, so it's the second. So the backup running back is going to be coming into the game. But I'm just going to still choose Green Bay. I just feel that Minnesota somehow is going to just drop the ball. Somehow they're going to just drop the ball. But because the spread is kind of like a little, like, I don't know. I don't trust Green Bay like that. I'm just going to choose Minnesota on my underdog parlay, and we'll just call it at that game. But Green Bay on the perfect parlay right there. The next game right here, which I feel like a lot of people are going to have their eyes on just because Shedeur Sanders is finally going to get his start. Cleveland Browns versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Oh, sorry about that. The Las Vegas Raiders. Spread set at 3.5, given to the Raiders. I'm going to have to just roll with Cleveland. I'm just going to have to roll with Cleveland. The Raiders, I want to pick them, but the defense for Cleveland is just that good to where it's like, I'm confident that Shedeur can't be worse than Dylan Gabriel. He can't be. And then he's finally going to be working with the first stringers. So let's just see how everything rolls out. But I am choosing Cleveland on the money line, and I'm choosing them on the underdog. I just don't believe, after they got rid of Myers, that was it. They don't really have many wide receivers out there for the Raiders. All they got are tight ends. And I don't know, is that going to be enough? Tight ends, you could pass with the tight ends. Blocking, Genty is going to have a game most likely. It might be a good game. I don't know, man. These are two bad teams that's just going to be playing against each other. I'm just going to rock with it just because Shedeur. That's all. I would like to see that victory, but not because of Shedeur, but because of Myles Garrett, really. Myles Garrett and that defense right there make it. They keep this sorry ass team in game, so it's whatever, man. Just want to see Cleveland just get that win with Shedeur, man. Because if he loses, just watch how the media is just gonna drag him. Watch how they're gonna just drag him through the mud, and it's all a bunch of bull crap to me. And the next game that I wanted to talk about, which was kind of a little hard game for me to decide and whatnot, would have to be the Atlanta Falcons versus the New Orleans Saints. The only reason why this one was hard for me to select, and the spread is set at 2.5, New Orleans being the favorite. The only reason why this game was kind of difficult for me too is because like I have to choose against two bad teams. Whoever loses this game is the worst team in the NFL. Yes, they're the worst team in the NFL, worse than the Tennessee Titans. And I'm gonna have to go with New Orleans on this one to win. Like Atlanta's too hurt. All their starters, except maybe Kyle Pitts, is out the game. And B. John Robinson. I just feel that New Orleans just could possibly come off with a victory, especially in the dome and everything. But then again, Atlanta's playing with nothing to lose, so Atlanta could also beat New Orleans as well in the dome. Being a Carolina Panthers fan, I'll say New Orleans beat them. Just knock them out the box. Once they get beaten by New Orleans, they are officially out the run. They will be officially out the run, straight up. So this is a tough one to decide, but I'm just gonna choose New Orleans, man. Yeah. Then the next game that I wanted to talk about, which I want to say is one of the games of the week, would be Philadelphia Eagles versus the Dallas Cowboys. Philly says the favorite to win by Philly says the favorite 3.0 spread. Obviously, I'm going with Philly to beat Dallas. I think they're just gonna sweep Dallas. I don't even care if it's at home and whatnot. Dallas got something to prove too. But I just feel that Philly being the most winningest team in the NFL, and it's crazy. We don't know what type of Philadelphia team we're gonna get, but they win games. And if it doesn't, and if it ain't broke, why fix it, right? So Philly gonna win that one. I got them selected, money line and everything. Tampa Bay versus the Los Angeles Rams. This game is gonna show who is the strongest team in the NFC right here. Whoever wins this game, I feel, are going to be the ones in the NFC Championship, and it's going to be the Rams. I feel this is my guess on it, and I think the Rams is that good enough of a team. I mean, we seen what they did in Seattle. Now they're about to do it to this team, Tampa. Knock those two out. Who else could fuck with you out there? Maybe Philly, but who else could fuck with you out there? Detroit? No. Philly? Maybe. I'll give it up to Philly. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, with this win right here, it will solidify them as the strongest team in the NFC to me and everything. And the Monday Night Football game, Carolina Panthers versus the San Francisco 49ers. I am so proud of my Panthers. Like now how everybody's riding with them. But the thing about us is this. Bryce Young he's a funny character to me right here. Because it's like you doubt him, he turns you into a true believer. You believe in him, he lets you down. So I'm glad that the Carolina Panthers are going off as a 7.5 underdog into Candlelight Stadium, whatever they call this damn stadium, for the San Francisco 49ers. Pretty much people are staging this as Christian McCaffrey's revenge game. Christian McCaffrey can probably go off on us on this bitch right here, man. But we're a good run defense. Carolina's a good run defense. Who can I choose? Money line, I'll choose San Francisco 49ers straight up. Spread, I'll choose the Panthers. That's if you want to damn gamble and whatnot. All I know is, man, I just hope that my Panthers put on a real good show Monday night, because this is our first primetime game in a long time. With all that being said, for my underdog parlays, I got Indianapolis Colts by the spread, Minnesota Vikings by the spread, Cleveland Browns by money line. Oh yeah, and I chose the New York Giants by the spread. I feel like 14 Detroit, but I'm just going with this because of Jameis Winston magic. That's all I can say about that one. But anyways, man, we're done right now. I'm about to get off of here. I'm about to start posting this, and I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. I hope you guys win all your bets and all that. And yeah, I'll be back with another episode of teams I got beef with. Hopefully I don't have no beef with no teams. Hopefully I hit my parlay. Hopefully you hit your parlay and all the tickets that you have designed for this NFL weekend. So you guys have a good one, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.